Hello everyone, this is Daniel aka Bbeltdan and welcome finally to episode 12 of where I am creating a cable operated Skeksis puppet. Now, depending on how soon I get this video edited and posted online and everything, this is either going to be released on the day of, if not the day after, hopefully no more than 2 days after the series, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, have been released on Netflix. And if that is so much the case, then I have failed at my original goal. And that goal was to have this finished before those series came out on Netflix. But oh well, it's time for me to go ahead and continue to push forward and see if we can get this done to some sort of completed status. Now, I know I'm a couple of weeks late on this because I've been trying to get these episodes out every single week, but things just kept getting in the way, and that's not really so much of an excuse, but actually I lie, it is pretty much an excuse, but you can't always, help those type of things. You got to deal with them as they come along. But I finally went ahead and managed to make time to where I can record this video and try to get it out, at least relatively around the time that this series comes out, so you can see where the status of this is. And I have been working on it, so let's go ahead and kind of jump right into this episode and see what all I've got done. And as promised, here it is. I've gotten actually quite a bit done. You can almost say it's to a semi-completed state at this point. I have majority of the flesh already all completely applied. The mechanisms I've went through and did some modifications on them, some repairs to get it to get them to work properly. So it's getting to the point where it's almost a fully fleshed out character. There's still a few little things that I need to do. I'll get with that in a minute, but let me go ahead and kind of show you some of the stuff that I have done. As you can see here, all the metal framework, so to say, of his prosthetic beak is actually in place. You can see right here, I still need to do a little bit of work, as we saw in the last episode, in this area, but we have the rivets put into place. I put in a couple of additional details. As you can see, this little strip of metal here. I may do another little strip right around here where the skin and the beak meet. I don't know. We'll see how that looks. I can always add that in later. Now, the rivets here, I just used these little fasteners that I got at any kind of store that sells office supplies. I just clipped off the ends and glued those on. Now they look a little bit too clean right now, but one thing I have not done with this is I have not really weathered any of this and put in some final little paint details. I went ahead, and as you can see, the back is done. I've decided I'm not going to place any foam here in the back. I kind of like the way that this is falling right now. Maybe a little bit of foam right here, because that is starting to sink in a little bit now that I'm looking at it. But I don't know. I actually kind of like the way it looks. Let me see if I can show you like right there how this kind of sinks in a little bit. It kind of gives this eye more of a ridge. So I don't know. I mean, y'all let me know what y'all probably think. But yeah, this is all done, and I got all the skin down from here. Now, it has not been fully weathered to the point to where I have the skin up here, so I still need to do that. The inside of the mouth, especially the top of the roof, still needs to be painted, so I still got some work to do because it's blue. The inside of the cheek areas, it is heavily you can see it when it's here. I need to paint those, maybe put some textures and stuff on that. How I want to do that, I really don't know. But if you're looking at this and are you asking, is everything the way that I intended it for it to be? Such as, can I remove this bottom beak away from this? Can I open up this back? And the answer is yes. This is all attached using Velcro back here, as I'll show you real quick. Yes, it is Velcroed, so I can open this up and get back inside here, as you can see, and work on the areas, and then when I'm done, I can close that back up like so. And I've tried to get it to where I can fold the skin over so it looks like it's, I don't know, just try to make it look a little bit more natural. It looked better in my mind than what it does right here, but oh well, it's all trial and error. But with all of this, as you can see, all that I did was took the material, I cut out, made the patterns that I needed, cut it out, and I flipped the image over, the pattern over, and I got the opposite side, and I went ahead and I stitched it along the bottom here. That's the only area that I'm not really too happy with, is the way that stitch kind of closes up. It doesn't look natural, but most of the time that is going to be underneath, and I also have an idea of how to probably hide that, which I may do a little bit later. But stitch that, and then I went ahead and attached Velcro strips to the inside of the material and also to the other side of the beak so it closes. But I made sure that I went ahead and left enough room to when the mouth closes, as you can see right there. There's enough space to where I can open the mouth, and there's slack there to where it opens, but it closes in such a way to where I think it actually pulls off probably a natural look of how skin would probably close, especially if this was an old creature. But yes, the bottom beak I can remove. Just take off the Velcro, as we can see right here, and now that's free. And then I just go ahead and slide that back, or do I slide it forward? Oh, I slide it forward, and then I should be able to just work this out. Voila! And then I could take, if I go ahead and finish with the other side, or with the other mechanism, the one that's going to be controlled utilizing the cable operated mechanisms, I could just slide that back in. Pretty much going the opposite way that I've took it out. It's not a quick job by any stretch of the imaginations, but once I get that in, then I just go ahead and line up the Velcro strips accordingly, line up that center line, work my way up, attach the Velcro. Put this side's a little bit too far back. There we go. This side I need to move up a little bit like that. And then, voila, there we go. And then it's ready to go. Whether if it's the cable operated mouth or whether if it's the hand operated mouth, it is ready to go. Velcro everything off in the back, and we are good to go. Now that I'm messing around with this, I can see that there's some areas where I try to hot glue the Velcro strips in. I'm going to have to go ahead and super glue those in, or use something a little bit stronger, maybe epoxy, I don't know. I'm going to experiment with a couple of things. Like I said, it's getting closer. I mean, it's at to a point to where the character of this is coming through. I'm actually starting to develop the character, the mannerisms, the voice and everything of this particular Skeksis already, because I mean, just the look of it. But there's still a lot to do. As I mentioned, I still need to go through, fix a couple little details, such as here, I want to go ahead and put some weathering on the metal areas, make this look a little bit more dirty, make it, because it's grimy. Maybe go through and try to see if I could put some battle scars on him in some certain places and make it look like that they're healing or that they've been healed and left scars. And I want to try to put some other little decorations on him. So he's not quite done, but he is definitely getting there. So hopefully by the next episode, or which would, by the next episode, he should be completely done and you'll be able to see. I also still need to go ahead and try to come up with what I'm going to do with the neck, which I already have an idea of what to do with that. So there we go. That's kind of what I've gotten right now. So y'all tell me, what do y'all probably think? So, I mean, it's almost to a point to where, as far as operating the head and using my arm to operate the mouth and the neck, he's pretty much almost done. So just go through with those couple of extra things and I got a completed Skeksis. Not necessarily on the time that schedule that I originally set out for, but pretty darn close. So, yeah, I think it's coming along nicely. Okay, all right, everyone, and that is going to conclude this episode. Where do we go from here? In episode 11, the previous episode, I talked on the possibility that in order to go ahead and call this project finished, or at least this series finished, so I can move on to other projects, other videos that I have intended, that this was probably going to be my last episode. And especially since the series is already out, I'm already past my timeline. Where do I want to go from here? I did not get everything completed that I wanted to complete, but at least one person did reach out to me, and they said that they were actually excited to see how this project, continues. They wanted to see me try to finish it towards the end, and after thinking about it, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do that. However, though, should I continue releasing weekly episodes to try to get that done? No, not necessarily. I don't think so. So this is what I've decided to go ahead and do, is that I'm going to release one more episode, and that would be next week. And with that, between now and that episode, I'm going to try to get as much as I can accomplished. Probably not going to be a whole lot, but I'm going to try to get as much as accomplished. I'll definitely be able to get all of the cosmetic work done, and I should have both of the control mechanisms that I went ahead and have designed and made, get those set up to where I can run wire through those. I don't have enough of this Bbeltdan cable to run through both of them, but I can at least run the Bbeltdan cable through one and have the other one set up to where I can run the Bbeltdan cable through it. So that's all available, so I can use that to test on operating the puppet. As far as the mouth mechanism and the neck mechanism, that I may not get done, but you never really know. But I'm going to try to push forward and continue doing that, so I'm not abandoning that. But after next week's episode, there will probably be no more episodes for a while. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'll work on everything off screen until I get everything completed, and then much later, probably let's say in November sometime, I'm going to try to have one more episode of this project, and by that time everything should be completed, so you'll be able to see everything. So rather than me boring you with 30-minute episodes showing you a bunch of progress, very little bit of progress that I'm doing throughout the week, I'll just have one episode with everything complete, and we'll be able to go through and I'll show you everything that I have done. So that's what I plan on doing. The reason about why I want to do this is because it is getting to the point to where there's really not a whole lot for me to show y'all. Another reason about why I've waited for 3 weeks before to release this episode, because on just this, the time that I had, if I was to release an episode, it would be about 5 minutes for me just to show you, oh, I put on the skin, oh, I put on Velcro. That's not very good content. So I want to try to actually show y'all something on the videos I do release that would be interesting for y'all to watch. So be looking forward to that. So what am I going to continue doing? Well, it's getting close to Halloween, so got a lot of stuff planned for that. So be looking forward to that. But once again, just a little bit reiterate, starting next week, I think my dog just scared himself away with a fart. Yeah, I think he just did. Ew. But anyways, next week will be one more episode. I'll hopefully a lot done by then, and then from there, time to start on some new episodes. Some of these series that I have planned on coming out have been some that have been asked for a lot on my channel, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get those knocked out of the way. But once again, Halloween's coming up, and so I like to always try to do a couple of videos that is going to be Halloween inspired, because it's one of my favorite times of the year. So, so let's see what we got going on. But until then, I just want to say this is Bbeltdan. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.